This is a guy called Joe again. This is part 2 of our 5-part Getting Started with Phaser 3 and Modern JavaScript for a beginner, set in the first video that I created. This is the second time I'm working with Phaser. Do have a little bit of experience with JavaScript, but Phaser itself, this is only the second time, so I'm going to be trudging through the waters, with you guys, all those beginners out there who are just getting started as well. We're going to run into problems, and we're going to try to solve them together. So figured this would be a great way to onboard a lot of the new, community members of the Ourcade community, a lot of which I have seen are new to Phaser and are just, learning how to use it to create their games. So, quick little recap from the first part. We started our development server. We git cloned down the repository, the parcel template that is provided by Ourcade, written by Super Tommy. And then we also ran into a few bugs with not having installed parcel correctly, so we had to do that again. And then also we had a problem with where our assets were being stored. And that problem was not having a public folder, which we created one and then moved all the assets in there, and it worked. So today we're going to go into part 2. Part 2 over here, let's see what are we going to be getting out of it. So we're creating platforms. Look at that. Platforms. Sounds like fun. You guys played Mario? Platforms are very important. Platformers is a whole genre. So platforms it is. Let's see. To add platforms, blah, we use to preload it into part 1. That's the ground assets. Do we have that? It's not called ground, it's called platform. But okay. So I'm going to create code. Okay, so it looks like we're going to write some code here. We're going to put it into the create method. Create method. So that's over here. Pretty sure. Instead, organize code and reusable functions, and that tells us write code better. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so this is the game scene file, which is what we're using. So instead of the star, looks like we're going to comment out the star portion of this. Create content. Then we're going to do this.create platforms. Okay, this.create platforms. Nice. And then it looks like we're going to create a new function called create platforms. Okay, this goes after create, it seems. Okay, all right, so before we do anything, let's kind of run through this. So constant, it's like naming a variable, so we're going to create a variable called platforms, and then to that we're going to add physics static group. Static group. Static versus dynamic, one moves, one doesn't. Static doesn't move. So then on platform, so the object platform, we're going to create a new one. This looks like 400 by 568. And then set it to ground. What does that mean? Let's see here. I think it says it over here. Line you add the stars, you comment it out. Okay, so we no longer need it. Okay, we can delete it. In that case, I like the code. Why not? Okay. And then the platform creation code is the same as the official Phaser guide. Okay, that's fine. That's part 4 of the guide. Okay. If we want to check out how this code works, we should check that out. Might as well. I'm interested. I hope you're interested too. Alright. Platforms, static group. Let's create the static physics group and assign the variable platforms. Okay. Has a position and a size. Isn't touched by gravity. That makes sense. So static doesn't move. Feature. It implies consumer object control is single unit. Okay. So. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so has the position and the size. So I'm assuming these have to do with positioning. and then size maybe has to do with that. Fresh body. Okay, so first line of code above adds a new ground image at 400 by 568. Images are positioned based on the center. Okay, that's good to know. We start the platform, span full width of our game. Okay, otherwise the player will just drop off the sides. So to do that, we're going to scale it 2x. So that's the set scale 2. That's 800 by 64 in size. Okay, so at first it was 400 by 32. So I guess that's just the image size itself. Not sure. Let's click on that. I don't know if that's actually a way. So just that's just what it looks like, and probably just standard size 400 by 32. So we double that. That's 800 by 64. And then refresh body is required because we have scaled a static physics body. So we have to tell the physics world about the changes we made. Okay, so in other words, all this is doing here is, here, let me make this larger. Let's get this down. All this is saying here is, hey, for this, the platforms, we're creating this platforms variable or object group. I'm going to make it a static object, and then within it, we're going to create one that is positioned at 400 and 568. We're going to double its size, and then we're going to refresh the, I guess, whatever, to make sure that our settings for changing the scale is set. And these other ones are creating other platforms that are positioned at different parts, so probably higher, some lower, or whatever. Okay. All right. Well, like I always like to say, just you can read as much as you want, but you're not going to learn unless you just do it. So I mean, let's just keep diving into it. Code. All right. Tell you what, let's do this. Let's save this, because I really do think you just got to do things to learn. So npm start. Let's hit that. Let's go into open up our local server. Actually, we had that open up previously. This has the old star in the blue background. This is still building. Let's do a hard refresh. When that loads, I think what we should expect is the star disappears. Then we have a doubled in size ground platform thing, and then some of the other ones that are just kind of floating around. And we'll see. Boom! Look at that. Okay, so this is the double size. This is the 3 normal sizes. Looks like some of these are in different locations. So what happens if we say move this from 600 to 100? I think it's refreshing. Let's see which one moved. What? Okay, that one moved. So that one was over here before. Okay, so the first one is X position, or the X-axis. Remember math? Graphs? X-axis. And then the second one is the Y-axis. So it's probably 400. And this is from the center of the image. So if that is the case, so this is X, so if that's 50, it's probably this guy, because this was set to 100. So I'm going to move that back to 600. I'm going to actually save that real quick, move it back to where it was. So 750 is this one, 400 is the middle. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. We'll figure it out. Okay, so don't repeat your strings. Yes, the dry method. Do not repeat yourself. Very good thing is very clean code. You know, if you can reuse something, might as well do that. So let's see. How are we going to dryify the code? String literals, string ground 4 times in create platforms, and 1 time in preload. Do we? Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. Yes, we do tend to make typos. I'm surprised you guys haven't seen me make a typo yet. I'm like the worst at spelling. Let's read to avoid typos. True. Okay, so we're going to create a global variable called ground. Okay. Okay, so we're at ground. So now we're going to take ground. We're going to replace every instance of ground in the single quotations like that. Ground goes here. Ground goes here. Ground goes here. There. And make sure you get rid of all those single quotes. Okay, so ground key is everywhere that it needs to be. The benefits you get using a constant variable is auto-completion within your code editor. This is true. So here, let me actually show you what he means by that. So grounds, look at that. You see that nice little autocomplete feature that VS Code gives you? You just go ahead and select that, and it'll be exactly what you need. And it doesn't really matter what we name this at this point, because then it just really doesn't matter. If we say platform, this should still work. I think. I don't know, we'll see. Might be eating my words here. Aha! Yes. Doesn't matter. But okay, for the sake of following the tutorial to a T, let's just rename the ground. Keep that in place. Refresh this to make sure it works. Okay, perfect. Alright, getting back to it. Creating a player. Okay, you got a dude PNG. Let's see, what that dude look like? It's just dude. It's the same dude that you get from the Phaser IO tutorial, the official one. So we're going to use that. We're going to preload him, and then player creation code is placed in create player. Okay, so same thing here. We're going to create a global variable that we can use throughout called dude key. Makes sense. Okay, and then now within the constructor, we're going to say this.player equals undefined. So what does that mean? I don't really know, but that's okay. I'm going to assume that we're just redefining it so that we can make use of it later on, or something breaks. We can play around with it later. Bonus video. I'm just kidding. All right, let's see. This.load spreadsheet dude key. That's this dude frame width 32, frame height 48. Okay, interesting. I'm not going to type that all out by myself. I'm just going to copy. Oh wait, we already had that. Okay, great. Okay, so this.load. Okay, so we're changing dude to dude key. Dude key. Perfect. Okay, then we don't need to change anything there. I'm going to say create player underneath where we do create platform. This.create player. And then it's a new function. So we're going to create player. Okay. That's a lot of code. I'm not writing this by myself. Okay, so let's quickly go through this code a little bit. This.player, so we're playing, okay, so we're creating a sprite using dude key, and then sprite 100 by 450. I guess that's also position if it's anything like the platforms that we did before. We're going to set bound, so it sounds like is included here, and then collider world bounds equals true. So I assume collide world bounds. That's something that we need to set in order to let our character interact with the world boundaries. So I guess the window or the viewport, whatever you want to call it. Now we're also set animations create key left. So this is the frames for going to the left, and then we have turn, and then right. So just to give you guys a little bit more insight into what this means. So when it comes to animations, basically right here, so you have the single one and then all the different movements that can happen. So this says start at 0, end at 3. This one is frame 4, this is 5 to 8. So if we look back at the dude, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9, but everything starts at 0, so it's 0, 1, 2. So that's why it's 2, 8. So 0, 1, 2, 3, that's the left. This is 4, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. And then 5, 6, 7, 8 is to the right. So that's just telling us how it should look when the character is moving to the left or to the right. Repeat 0, I don't know what that means. Meaning to key, frame rates. Okay. I don't know what any of that means. But we will figure it out as we all go through this journey of creating a new game in Phaser. So, apply the try method to dude. Yep, did that. Sounds great. Add the player instead of undefined in the constructor. This is not strictly necessary. Aha! Not necessary. Declaring all instance properties before using them makes it easier to see all the properties are at a glance. Okay, so that's just again modern JavaScript, making it a lot easier for us. So by having everything in the constructor, we can once we take a look at this file again in the future, let's say we created some crazy complicated game. You go in here and you're like, all right, I know everything that we have in this file that's being used or interacted with, something down there. Now we can quickly reference things. So create player method is called create. Okay, so here, let's save, and then this is going to hot reload our local environments, which is going to need a hard refresh. Let's see what we got. Look at that, we got a dude, and he is sitting at the very bottom of the screen. So what does this mean? Here, how does that work? So we created a thing, where's that thing? Set collide world bounds. Okay, so that's why I went to the bottom of it, but didn't land on the platform. So probably, if we had movement, we wouldn't be able to go off the screen to the left or the right. I wouldn't be able to jump over the ceiling, maybe, I don't know. But definitely can't fall through the bottom of the screen. So that's good. And this looks like the end of part 2. All right, so we still got parts 3, 4, and 5, which I assume if it's following the same thing as Phaser IO, we're going to add controls to it. We're going to make it so that our guy doesn't fall through the ground. The controls are jumping, moving left and right, stars, all that jazz. So a lot of good stuff coming up in the future. Things that we learned today. We didn't run into any problems, surprisingly, unless I totally forgot that we did run into a problem. But I've been talking a long while, so I don't really know what's going on anymore. But thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments. Happy to help out other beginners who are here. Happy, taking any feedback that you have. Welcome to the Ourcade community. We're super happy to have you, and I'll see you in the next video.